Yeah. I didn't think that I had a debt to pay till they came to take all I.
Hi everyone, it's Solomon here, Solomon 92 here with another review. We're going to be talking about last Saturday's Premium Live event that took place in Washington DC last Saturday for Saturday's main event, which headlined the retirement, the last ever match ever of the Doctor of Thuganomics. They never give up. You can't see me. The 1780 time world champion John Cena, who was going to have his last match ever in the company against Gunther of all kinds of names that he could have faced in the company itself. So that that's going to be one of the discussions on my review tonight. So I'm discussing a few of the matches. I'm discussing about Obafemi versus Cody Rhodes. Other matches. We mentioned many names. I'll be mentioning Leon Slater, AJ Styles, etc. So I'll be mentioning a few names in the review of upcoming matches. My thoughts on John Cena, his career overall. I'll be mentioning about these things. So stay tuned. And coming up on the Saturday 2 Saturday Times main event review.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to speak about the first match tonight between Obafemi, the NXT World Champion, versus the WWE Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes. So they started competing with each other between the 5-10 minutes of the match. It was very very fast, very grapple style with such between the first 5-10 minutes of the match itself. So it was a difficult match between Cody Rhodes and the difficult match he defeats in some ways. For his career he's doing in WWE as such. So Cody Rhodes was going up against Obafemi and such. He delivered a few rings. They were inside, outside the ring. They were out in the ring. I remember at one point where he delivered the diamond cutter near the ring itself. Not diamond cutter, sorry. The Cody cutter, like off the top, off the second rope, bottom rope here to Obafemi. So they were competing another 5-10 minutes until out of nothing, Jim McIntyre comes in and causes the interference for him to have the match as a no contest between Cody Rhodes and Obafemi. So Cody Rhodes manages to take out Jim McIntyre outside of the ring. So they ended up after the match, racing the crowd, waving, thanking the fans for their performances and such. So this ends up a no contest between Jim McIntyre's interference and such. So the second match of the night was Bayley competing against Sol Ruka. So Ruka was going up against Bayley in the match. They were competing for like another 5-10 minutes. During the match itself, they was delivering a few moves. A few pinfall covers, a few two and a half kicks here and there as such. Between the typical women's exhibitional for Saturday's main event. So they competed, and then I think Bayley tried to attempt to move out of some point at some part of the match. And she managed to manage to get a cover. When Bayley was attempting a high flying move or a finisher on her at some point. To play possum, whatever, and then Sol Ruka managed to get the roll up on Bayley, 1, 2, and 3, and then Sol Ruka managed to win the match, and Sol Ruka is the winner against Bayley. So third match of the night was yes, I will talk about him. Leon Slater from UK was teaming up with Javon Aaron's versus AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. So both tag teams, they were competing. Some of them are through the TNA partnership doing WWE as such. So Leon Slater and Giovanni Evans were facing against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. And, there's a lot of high flying moves, between two opponents as such. I remember at some point, as I saw him there, competing against AJ Styles. AJ Styles, he did a few moves against himself as well. And same to do with his opponent. Delivering a few moves. Submission holds that they do as any other competitors they do as such. Anyways, So I do remember at some point where I saw AJ Styles hit the flying, jumped off the top rope. Hitting the diving Superman punch. Similar to how Roman Reigns does it when he does it against opponents in the ring. But yeah, he's a good prospect to be in wrestling entertainment. For the partnership. I would like to say that about him, but I did see him like many months ago at the Pro event I came to many months ago. So it's good to see him, have an opportunity to work in the wrestling entertainment. But anyways, so I did watch the match itself. I saw diving cross body for the moves. There were a lot of high flying moves between the opponents as such, between Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee was going after G Von Aarons as such himself. So yeah, I think at one point how the latter half of the match ended between Leon Slater attempted to do move off the top rope. I think AJ Styles managed to counter the move. You know, he hit a Styles Clash on him, so he managed to get a 1, 2, and a 3. And then AJ Styles is the victory against Leon Slater and Lee Javon Evans or something. So AJ Styles wins, and it's a very good to see them compete, and they see other matches compete like that. It's a very good technical match it was for those for opponents of two tag teams there. So very nice, and congratulations to both tag teams, especially to the winner of the match, I would say. So yeah. So now let me just speak about the main event between Gunther versus John Cena, and that is going to be the last ever time you will ever see John Cena compete after that match. I will speak about it in a moment. Right, so I'm now going to speak about the main event of Saturday's main event, which took place last Saturday of Saturday's main event in Washington D.C. Capital One Arena. So obviously, everyone knows, everyone's aware of John Cena's current state of his career and in his life now. So this was his last ever match he was going to competing in the WWE, since he made his debut in 2002 against Kurt Angle, as you remember. So he was gonna have his last ever match against Gunther as a nice main event in Washington D.C. So yeah, so obviously we're gonna discuss about the match itself. So Gunther and John Cena faced off one another during the match itself. So you know, obviously you expect John Cena, you expect him to do the thing where he takes a few moves, you know, up a notch and stuff, and he stays down the ground. You know, the fans get upset about him sometimes. They're always going about the same old shit, the same old moves that he competes, you know, the 5 move sets and all that. Like I hear many people say that to me, wrestling such about their displeasure and hatred about Cena over the years. You know, since the thing about him not turning heel, you know, not changing his character to a non-PG image, or stuff they say about his what I hear The Rock say about the Power Rangers cornflakes or whatever. You know, I remember all this stuff about, you know, the Fuckonomics, you know, the stuff he does about the world life and all that. So I know about that stuff about Dr. Fuckonomics, but yeah, so that's basically what the fans have many opinions about John Cena, about what he does and anything, you know. But yeah, he was in the match itself with Gunther, you know. Gunther, you know, laid out a few dishes for John Cena during the match itself, you know. He laid a few drop kicks, you know. He had him in a lock holds, you know, during the match itself, you know. John Cena retaliated, you know. He basically in his own moves, you know. At one point they were outside the ring. They were basically John Cena was outside outside the ring. He had the stool step set up, and then he basically had him in the attitude adjustment, and then he basically you know, he found a fireman's carry in Gunther, and then he basically threw him through the announce table with the fireman's carry, the attitude adjustment. That was a really death-defying move from John Cena. Holy shit, motherfucker. Right through the announce table like that. Yeah, and then they went back into the ring, you know, they continued the match furtherwards. So, you know, basically towards the, they were still competing, they were still going through a lot of hefty moves in the match that Gunther laid out like that, you know. So, at one point during the latter ending half of the match, you know, Gunther managed to have applied a death-defying sleeper hold on John Cena for about a few minutes, less than 2.5 minutes or so. John Cena gave a via submission, and Gunther is the winner of the match, and that is the final ever match that John Cena, as far as I can see, is his last match ever in WWE. So, thank you very much, John Cena. Thank you for everything that you've done over the last few years in WWE. I'm very glad that you're retiring now, so you're going to go out to Hollywood, you're going to do a few other Fast and Furious films, etc., and a few other people that you work with the acting industry and such. So, congratulations, and thank you for competing, and I wish you well, and if you do go in Hall of Fame next year, that'd be very great for you. So, anyway, so that's what I have to say, because I do know what John Cena is doing. You know, he's been in the industry for many years, so it's good to see him leave on a high like that. So, he after the match ended, you know, all the WWE superstars, you know, Triple H, you know, the hierarchy, the wife Stephanie, all the people came, you know, the personnel came to to applaud Cena in the ring. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk came in to congratulate John Cena for his retirement. To give him the two undisputed and the World Heavyweight title belts. Around the ring. Saluting the fans out on these vast majority careers. So yeah, that's very, very emotional ending for John Cena in his career. So I do wish him all the best. So okay, I'm not really a huge fan of him, to be honest, but I do know about his stuff about the Falconomics, about the Hilton, etc. There are excuses there for me to talk about other things he was doing, but I do know about what he's currently doing at the moment. So yeah, so I think I've so John Cena, he retired, so that's what I'm going to say for now. So if you'd like to subscribe to my content, as you just saw there, your list is just there on top of the screen here, www.youtube.com/AstroSodom92. Subscribe, make a comment. I would just mention anything if you like about my review I said here about Silas main event, or things I said previously in Silas War Games, etc. So you can have an opinion about it if you like what I want. So, like what yeah, so you can, as I was saying, I don't want to confuse you over any music titles or anything, but you can have a subscribe, have a look through my content if you like, for any reason if it's me. So thank you very much, guys, and hope to join you Christmas next week on the 25th of Christmas. So take care, guys, and see ya. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise showing by me now. You can't see me, my time is now. Word life, motherfucker. Peace.
Yeah. I didn't think that I had a debt to pay, till they came to take all I had left away. You said you wouldn't put me to the test today, but I remember you saying that yesterday. There was a time when your mind wasn't out of control. Every memory a confession pouring out of your soul, like a pill you couldn't swallow and it swallowed you whole. Another